protect one's life or to take it all away.
Hey guys, this is Spark Plus Ultra here, and thanks for voting on which Bleach character you want for Asta. What if Asta had Cirucci Sanderwicci powers? Alas del so. And I hope you like this video. Next up is going to be your second vote. In the middle of the night, there was a cry in nearby a church door where Father O'Reilly was hearing the cry of a baby, and then when he opens the door, he sees a young Yuno with crying, his necklace on, and when he looks at the other, there was a sleeping Asta that was calm and wasn't afraid. But what strikes O'Reilly more surprise was the decorative looking baby, where it was carefully designed by somebody, and then O'Reilly then brings them in. Asta had a unique characteristic to him. He's high energetic and very cooperative. Surprisingly really tough. And then winter time. Yuno's necklace was getting taken by two men that were trying. Ryan looks at Asta and was looking at him with a very spirited but also a strong look to him. And when he was taking them in, he feels Asta's grip and says, "Oh my, you are strong." Feeling his beard tugged, and Asta and Yuno turned to 5-year-old, and it was snowing. Yuno's necklace was taken from a man, and man says, "Thanks, kid. I won't spend it all in one." And Yuno was sad that his necklace was taken, and Asta then was feeling frustration, anger, was trying to take back Yuno's necklace, and he did, and get it to Yuno, and says, "There, Yuno, I got it back for you," and with a smile on his face. And Yuno says, "Thanks, Asta." Asta says, "Why don't we come stronger?" And Yuno says, "Yes, let's do that." And Yuno was getting his magic 15, and Asta still doesn't have his magic yet, and was being blown back by Yuno every time. And Asta was getting stronger with every physical training and exercise. And they go eat lunch, and it was a potato yam, and it was bitter, and Asta then thinks, "I'll be the Wizard King and make everything right." And all the children were laughing at Asta's idea, and Asta then says, "Hey, I'm gonna be the Wizard King." And Yuno says, "Maybe I could be the Wizard King." And Asta says, "Let's see." Then Asta and Yuno go and get their grimoires. Yuno gets his 4-leaf grimoire, but Asta doesn't. But when he was down and unhappy, Yuno was getting his grimoire taken from Ravage Silic, and his grimoire was getting taken by, and Ravage said, "This would make a good sell to a higher noble." And then Asta looks at Ravage and says, "Hey, give that back! That's Yuno's!" And Ravage goes for an attack on Asta, but Asta dodges, and Ravage says, "What the? He's fast!" And Asta was behind him and goes to punch him, but Ravage then got Asta and puts him back to the wall. And Asta says, "Damn it, did I not make it? No, something else. Why? Am I useless? But when he thinks that, magic comes around his body and goes around and builds up. And Ravage says, huh? Why do I feel this uneasy magic? Whatever. I'll kill you! And when he does try to do that, Asta clothes changed and becoming white with gloves that was covering his forearms, and with his clothes being white and somewhat like a jestery look, but with a mix of a intriguing Spanish conquistador look, and grabbing his zimpacto and saying, "Ah!" and chopping the chains into one. And Ravage looks at Asta. What the? His gears, his magic, they are so weird. Feeling my whole body tingled, my hair, something is weird. And Asta then grabs his zimpacto and says, huh? What is this? I've never seen this weapon before. But when he looks at it closer, there was another coming out of it. A little sphere-like ring that was attached to it. And then Asta uses it. Let's see. And then it goes swinging around, spinning up, building up speed. Whoa! It's like a toy! Hey, look at this! Whoa! Doing some tricks with it and being all fun and looking at it and trying it out. And Ravage says, never in my life I've seen this weapon. Who cares? You're gonna die! And then Asta says, whoa! And when he does that, the hoop-like weapon spins and cuts down all of the chains coming at Asta. And Asta then looks at his eyes and sees it in action and says, so cool! I didn't know that could be a weapon. And Ravage says, figure it out! Take this! Using his chains to try to subdue Asta. I don't know what your magic is, but I don't want to see any more, you little runt! And when he tries to use his chains, he forgotten something. The spinning wheel that was still in the air, it was targeting him. And Asta says, where did it go? And Ravage says, now die, you runt! And when he says that, the spinning blade was behind him and was on target, hitting him in the back. Ah! Losing his focus. And Asta says, whoa, he can keep its target locked on? Now that's awesome! Then he uses his whip and striking the vial points on Ravage and says, oh, freaking hell, what the? And Asta snaps his whip and says, I never used this weapon before, but I'm adaptive at this. Now, you're gonna pay for what you did to Yuna and get back his grimoire. He then gets rid of his weapon and punches Ravage Selic in the gut through the wall. Ravage Selic feels his whole gut being crushed down by that simple punch and flies in the air and crashes in the bricks. And Asta says, haha, I never used this. It's so interesting. Is it really magic? And feels his legs. And Asta says, here, And sees his grimoire and Asta's helping hand. And Asta smiles and says, I never had this magic before. Feels right for some reason. And then feel Asta's magic. It's like a unique thing, but it was somewhat refreshing, like somewhat in the wind. And Yuna said, yeah. And Asta says, does it look cool? Or what? And Yuna says, yes, it looks cool, but it does make you look like a clown. And Asta feeling the weight. Great. And then there was a little paper coming down on Asta and flying into his face. Oh, hey, what the hell is this? And says, and grabs it off of Asta and reads it. This is interesting. Then says that, the weapon that you have is called the Galandrina. And Asta says, the Galandrina? And says, no, Galandrina. And Asta says, I don't know what that means, And, says, I think that's what your weapon is called. And, or thing. And Asta says, oh, that's actually interesting. What is it? Another language? Says, no. But then Asta then says, it doesn't matter. We're going to be rivals to be Wizard King. And says, right. Asta then, shake hands and go back to the church and then show their magic. And Orion and Sister Lily look at their weapons. And Grimoire, is a 4-leaf clover, but Asta's is interesting that they never seen. And Asta says, yeah, I never seen it before either. And Asta then looks around. Is there any choices that there's a guy right there looking at a guy with a very farmer look? And Sister Lily says, what are you talking about, Asta? And Asta says, there's literally a guy right there. I'm literally not kidding. And then Sister Lily looks around and Orion looks and says, I don't know what you're talking about, but maybe. And Asta then looks to see some children. Were there children over there? And Orion then heard that word, children. I know we have children here, but you're pointing over there on the left side. And Asta says, yeah, I'm not kidding. I'm literally being serious. And Orion then thinks, can you see souls? And Orion was looking at Asta, and Asta says, maybe I could. And holy hell, I can touch them. And the children look at Asta with confusion. And Orion says, oh my. And says, why are you touching air? He's not, he's touching the spirits. And Asta says, I'm touching what? You're touching the spirits of dead, deceased children from about hundreds of years ago. And Asta was confused on what he's saying. There was a time that it wasn't very sick. And Asta then says, passed away. Yes, let's say that. And Asta says, I'll keep training. And then Ryan says, Asta, can you turn back into your normal look? And Asta says, I don't know. And Asta then takes a deep breath and his spiritual magic goes away and his form and gear dissipated. And Orion says, can you see the souls? And Asta says, yep, still see them. Says, so that's what your magic is. I don't think it's magic, it's more of a cognitive ability, I guess. Thinks maybe it's part of your uniform as well, but it's also your soul magic, I think. And Asta says, soul magic? That's probably it. I can see almost anything, these things, the dead. And Ryan says, alright, now be careful, Asta, okay? Asta says, alright, gotta do my training. And Yuna says, he has an interesting ability. And Ryan says, yes. Sister Lily said, I never thought you could see them, see souls. And Orion says, not many magic users could, only certain types. like soul magic users, or certain users that could. Asta was one of them, and Asta was training on his magic, and then turns back into his hollow form and says, "Alright, let's see what this thing can do." Yeah. And using his weapon, and it could make him fly and create some interesting, unique tricks with it, making it homing and some good diversions with it. And he can create more than one, but he never studied all of his magic. And Asta says, "Alright, get to the magic nights with Yuno." And Yuno was getting to the magic nights with Asta. And Yuno says, "How was your training, Asta?" And Asta says, "It was fun. I had lots of interesting, unique tricks with it. I never thought this weapon could be fun." And Yuno says, "I kind of like your weapon at that." And Asta says, "I wouldn't lend it. It's very dangerous." And Yuno says, "Noted." And they go to the village to become magic knights. And that's where I'm ending this video. I hope you liked this video and hope you subscribe. See you next time.